it's going to affect you probably more than anybody else because you work out there. But in 1988, I got elected to the city council, and actually, a lot of people don't know this, but I actually ran in 1984. Now I know that sounds like a long time ago to y'all, but in 1984 I ran and I got beat, and it was just devastating to me. You know, I'd been involved in baseball and all this kind of stuff, and I got beat, and I just said, I'm never going to run for another public office. And to be quite honest with you, I prayed about it a lot, what to do, what kind of decision to make. And ended up running again, got elected in '88. I've been on the city council ever since then. But in 1990, 91, something came up, and it was just, I don't know, I didn't know what I was doing. I just wrote a letter. I wrote a letter to Dr. David Bronner, who's head of the retirement system for the state of Alabama. And I mailed the letter. I always like to tell this because this is for emails. I mailed the letter on Tuesday. Okay, and remember, I mailed it on Tuesday, and I got a response back from him on Thursday, which is pretty unusual. And in the letter I wrote, would you be interested in building an 18-hole golf course in Greenville, Alabama? And we had a committee together, been talking about building a golf course, and we wanted a public golf course, and we thought that would be a good thing for Greenville. And so there was a group of people, and I'd heard about that they were building one in Birmingham through the retirement system. So I said, well, you know, I'll write this about it. 18-hole golf course in Greenville, Alabama would have been the biggest thing that ever hit. I got the letter back, wrote it on Tuesday, got the letter back on Thursday from Dr. Bronner, and they said, we don't build 18-hole golf courses, we build 36. And for the first time in my life, I realized that in a small town, and this is where I've always lived all my life. I got out of high school, I worked at a Piggly Wiggly, I bagged groceries, I learned how to cut meat, but I love my town. And I realized at that time that I probably was not thinking big enough. Okay, 18 holes, and boy, he just put me in my place. It went, well, okay, I guess we're not gonna get a golf course. And, but I sent him some pictures. I sent pictures of Shirley Lake, and as y'all know, it's a beautiful place. And about 2 weeks later, I came back to my office, and on my desk was a note that said, call Dr. David Bronner. Well, a lot of my friends had made fun of me for writing a letter. Oh, they ain't never gonna build a golf course here. Then I told him, well, he said, they don't do 18-hole golf courses. And so I thought, no joke, I thought it was going to be a joke. So I thought I was going to call this number, and it was going to be one of my buddies, like your daddy, or somebody that said, Joe's Pool Hall or something. I mean, I really did. And of course, when he got on the phone, he said, hello, I said, Dr. Bronner, and then after that, I was shaking, okay, because I was real young, I'd never done anything like that. And he said, where are you going to be tomorrow at 10 o'clock? And I said, wherever you want me to be. And he sent a guy named Bobby Baldwin, who was the guy that came up with the vision of the Robert Trent Jones Trail, and it was a vision. And to make a long story short, he came, he looked at the property. Then Dr. Bronner came and he looked at the property. And we got a 36-hole golf course that has probably changed this town, probably more. Only thing different is the interstate. The interstate's probably done more for that. And I learned a lot from that. I learned that it's all right to think big. It's all right to dream. It's all right to have a vision. Think big things for your town. I learned a lot from Dr. Bronner. I listened to him talk about how we had to stop people that were going to Florida and stop them in Alabama to get them to spend money. It really changed my life. All of a sudden, I got fired up and said, we can do anything. We can do anything for Greenville. The same thing happened basically in 2000. I started working. Actually, it was probably in 1998, 2 years before I got elected mayor. I started working on a movie theater. I just always wanted a movie theater. Now, I don't go to the movies near as much as I used to, okay? But I wanted a movie theater. I thought it would bring people from surrounding areas. I also thought it, when I was your age, we had to go to Montgomery, okay? Had to go to Montgomery. I hate to tell you this, but a lot of times I'd go and I'd tell my daddy I was going somewhere else, and we'd go to Montgomery. And I remember one night we almost had a wreck and almost got killed on the interstate, and I didn't go to Montgomery quite as much as I used to go there. The good Lord was giving me a little warning there. And so, you know, it took 10 years to get the movie theater. It took 10 years to, I had 5 other companies, and this is a great lesson to learn. Everything happens for a reason. I had 5 companies tell me no. Every time, boy, I was all high, man, we're gonna get a movie theater. It fell in. Boy, this is great. It fell in. Then the guy that ended up building the movie theater was the best of the theater. I mean, we got a $6 million movie theater. And these other guys were talking about spending $500,000. I mean, we would have got a movie theater that would have been in the old Winn-Dixie building or something, you know, that had been redone and they have in other towns. I mean, never in my dream did I think we'd have a 36-hole golf course. Never in my dream did I ever think we'd have a movie theater like we got. But we do. So don't be scared. Don't be scared to reach out and think big. Think about what you want to do. Make a plan, work at that plan, do what's right, and put everything you can to it and have passion for it. And, you know, I don't go around talking about the golf course and doing all this kind of stuff. But I want to tell y'all that every time I ride out there and I turn that corner where that driving range is, as you know, on the left, I still can't believe it. Okay, it's been 25 years and I still can't believe it. Does it make me feel good? You just can't imagine. Does that movie theater make me feel good? Yes. The same thing happened with Washington and high school. You know, Hyundai came, and I had a little vision about something else that worked out, and it's a small one, okay? But you never know. The big ones, the small ones, or whatever. I came up with the idea that we needed to put a billboard up between Montgomery, downtown Montgomery, where the Koreans were staying, and where the Hyundai site was going to be. I put this billboard up that says, welcome Hyundai, Greenville's open for business. And everybody, every Korean said something about it. The chairman of Hyundai, who's worth billions, the governor at that time called me the billboard mayor, okay? You know, and it put us on the map. And that was the start of what you see out at Washington and high school. And AI recycling, a lot of people forget about that, but we have 3 Korean companies, and actually 4 because we have a trucking company here. So we got 4 different companies that are affected to that. When you add it all up, it's over 1,000 jobs. And that's big. That's 10% of our workforce in Butler County. So it's huge. So I guess what I'm saying is always thinking of what you can do. I remember exactly where I was when I thought about the billboard. I was in the shower, okay? My wife's always said I do my best thinking in the shower. And I got out and